It is. It's a huge area. It's hard to cover, and I think people don't understand why you can't be everywhere at one time. There's lots of events going on for the next couple of weeks.
Right.
Just every community has their 4th of July celebration events.
Exactly.
And you just can't spread yourself thin enough.
Sure.
But I'm fortunate. I've got a big family. I've got a close family that is real supportive of me. Yesterday, I was in Seymour for me over there.
Gotcha.
While my wife went with me to Seymour. It's, you're
tough to cover
tired
that
at the end
footprint.
of the day, but it's worth it.
Sure.
I really
well,
enjoy it.
The benefit of this station is that we can be heard because we broadcast out of Birch Tree. We can be heard in almost every in almost every square foot of your footprint. So, I mean, we cover Ripley, we cover Oregon, we cover Howell, Texas, Ozark, Douglas, Wright, and portions of Webster. So, this is an opportunity for listeners to hear. This is the guy, folks, who's going to be running to represent you in the state senate in Jefferson City, and so. Again, our phone numbers are 257-1111 if you're local here in West Plains area, or if you're in some of those outlying counties, 866-554-6636. So you can call in here with your questions and any questions that you might have for Don. Don, I got a couple of issues I want to just kind of throw out there, and you can pick off the ones that you think you can swing off the top of your head. But one is this issue of CID zones. I started to get into this conversation a little bit with Stan, who was on before you, and I got a problem with these CID zones. I have and Stan had a good point, which is that if we don't offer them here in Missouri, and they do offer them in Arkansas, or they offer them over in Illinois, or they offer them over in Kansas, that we lose businesses to those competing states, if you will, because they do offer these CID zones. For those who don't know, by the way, CID zones are these places where tax money is collected over and above the state sales tax, and then that money is given to or used to pay off loans that is, private businesses improve their property or put in sewer systems or and things like that. My problem with it, of course, is that anytime you're employing a tax that benefits a private group, individual, landowner, what have you, that is, nobody's paying my taxes on my behalf. Nobody's allowing me to pay it to collect a tax to improve my property. And, I get the concept that, it's a commercial issue or it's a commerce issue, and it helps to improve an area, in a downtown area, let's say, where, money is needed to help drive some of these things. But I have a real problem with the fact that CID zones are accepted at all. I mean, frankly, I don't think they should be allowed nationwide. But, and I know you can't affect that, but you can sure talk a little bit about Missouri's. Another issue is broadband. This broadband initiative, we are desperately in need of internet services for the people who live in all of your district. I mean, let's be candid. Here in Howell County, you got pretty good broadband in most of the area. But I can tell you for a fact that Oregon County, if you're outside the city of Alton, you're on satellite or you're on dial-up. And the same in Ripley, same in Ozark, same in Douglas, same in Wright in Texas. If you're in some of the major, if you're in a town, you're okay. But as soon as you're out of town, you're done. You're finished. And our current governor has instituted this broadband initiative that I find extraordinarily offensive because of the way that this money has been doled out. And nothing has been accomplished except we've spent hundreds of millions of dollars and we've gotten nothing for it except a bunch of companies have benefited privately. And then public sector unions, I apologize, public sector unions. I would like to see them completely disbanded. I don't think that any union can stand there and adequately indicate that they need the government. They need protection from the government, who happens to be the only police power available. I mean, how is it that you can work for a government and tell me that you need protection from that same employer. That's ridiculous. And then school choice. So I don't know if you've been writing notes on those, but
I haven't been writing notes.
Okay,
but
you can attack anyone you want, and also if you've got a topic that you want to talk about outside of that, by all means, feel free to do that.
Okay, the CID zones to begin with. I don't think Missouri has per se a CID, but we do have TIF,
right? Tax
increment financing.
Well, actually, we do have CID, like here in West Plains.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The certain areas we have these CID zones where, you know, a private landowner goes out and gets a loan from a bank, and then they use these funds that are collected. So our sales tax, let's say it's 6%, and then on top of that, there's another 1 or 2% tax on top of that is used to pay off a loan that they use for private improvement on their property.
See, I have not been exposed to those. Me being mayor of Kabul in the past, I know about TIF zones.
Right.
And, you know, it's not the government's job to pick winners and losers.
Hell
whenever
yeah.
we start taking private money and doling it out to special private citizens, when we take public money, the tax dollars that everyone works so hard and the government takes away from us, and then we turn around and give it to special interest, and I would call that special interest because they've been picked special by the government.
Exactly.
And I don't play that game. I don't think that is right to go in and use our tax dollars to improve someone else's land, or to pay the interest on a loan or anything like that.
Right.
You know, I believe in free enterprise, and that is a big problem we have here in Missouri.
Okay. I'm going to have to interrupt you there. We've got to take a break because it's the bottom of the hour and it's automatic. But I'm going to, folks, we'll be right back with Don Wells, and he can talk about these other topics when we get back. We'll be right back. Title of that song, folks, is Run. And that's exactly what Don is doing this morning. He is running for state senate. And many of you know that Don has been a state representative representing the Missouri in Jefferson City for the state representative. He is now running for state senate, and so our discussion this morning is a little bit about some topics of interest to us and he and you. So go ahead, Don. We were starting. We kind of got interrupted by the commercial there, and I apologize. But you know, this is capitalism after all. In action, right?
And that is exactly what I believe in, is capitalism. I believe in free enterprise and being able to get out and make your way your own self without having government intrusion and government telling you can't do this job or you can't do this other job. And I have been on professional registration licensing for 8 years, and I see so much of it. They're wanting to put the little guy out of business. I have fought it. Every year there has been a push to do statewide licensure for electricians.
Yeah.
We'll just use that one for instance.
I've got a better one for you. How about the fact that the State Bar Association will not allow you to take the lawyer's exam and try the bar exam unless you've had 4 years of college education at a law school approved by them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With all due respect, I've never been to law school. I guarantee you I could pass the bar, and I can't take it. I'd like to take it, but I can't.
Right, and that's a problem.
Absolutely. I mean, and by the way, the laundry list of great lawyers down through history, and I'll find that list if my listeners are interested in it. But guess what? The vast majority of the names that you hear, guys like Abraham Lincoln and Daniel Webster and those guys, they didn't go to law school.
No, they were self-taught.
They were self-taught.
Right.
They read Black's Law Dictionary, and they read the statutes, and they read the legislation that was out there. And they read the precedential cases that were important, and they were able to pass the bar exam. And they never went to law school where there was a bar exam, at least in modern day. and they are lawyers or were lawyers, and they were the greatest lawyers we ever had.